Well, hi there, back again with Sensory Arts and Sciences Exploring the World, Part 3, Self Mental Imagery. And this Part 4 of this section continues with echo technology. But this is about echoing things into ourselves. For example, as we might have sat looking at this beautiful Marrakesh sunset, we might have looked into ourselves to see what else in our experience this might connect to. And this is what this is all about. I'm John again, and I'm helping with this. I'm the presenter today, and I'm looking at self-mental imagery, and that's again capturing ideas, images, visionary pictures in our minds, in our feelings from the places that we go. Now, this is continuing with the echo technology, but this is moving on from those ideas echoing from a place into ourselves, when we take those ideas and then echo them into our experiences to add to their meaning and significance, to clothe them with all the ideas and experiences we've had up to date to help explain them further. Okay, now this is strange, isn't it? Because they're kind of sensing backwards, sensing into our history. And when we are exploring a place, of course, we start to get new ideas, feelings, and we've been talking about this, of course, throughout this series. And they're going to be all kinds of interesting things, but not necessarily organized or connected, something interesting here, something interesting there. In fact, to be frank, when we're exploring somewhere, it's almost better when we're starting that they aren't that organized, because what we're trying to be is as free as possible to let all sorts of interesting ideas into ourselves. But then we've got to review them, make sense of them, perhaps discard some, add to others, etc., etc. Because to start with, they may be conjectures we're just making, and that's absolutely fine. But we need to look at those and see how we make sense of them. Now, the way to do this is to begin to look backwards into our own history and experience to help add meaning and significance. So it's a kind of backwards forwards. We take all the things we've received, we go back into ourselves with them, and this takes us forwards to explore things further. Now, this is where we start by echoing ideas, senses, and feelings. We're getting into our exploration back into ourselves to see how they fit with our previous experiences. And how do we do this? Well, an excellent way to start this whole process of echoing backwards is with questions such as where have I seen this before? Where have I felt this before? What does this make me think of? When I'm considering this place, what also pops into my mind from perhaps other similar places? Now here's the Rock of Cashel, a religious and at one time military site, of course. What does this connect us to? Are there other special sites we've been to? The tower? All sorts of different things may connect us to other places in different parts of the world. So what we're going to be doing is bouncing all the ideas we get off our experiences, and this can cover many, many different areas. So to help with this, here are just some suggestions to help us get going. It could be a shape or a design or a special color we've seen that links us somewhere else. It could be feelings we had, emotions we're having. It could be the energies we register, the atmospheres, the sense in us. Is it contemplative? Is it exciting? Is it energizing? Is it calming? It could be people. It could be faces. It could be movements we see. It could be activities that people are engaged in. And then it could be dress. Have we seen dress design like that somewhere else in a completely different part of the world, that sort of shape. Adornments, jewellery, has the same kind of jewellery been found somewhere else? Rooms, spaces, decorations, again, what does it connect us to? What does it say to us? And of course, when we go outside a place, we go into their gardens, we go into the woods, we go into the whole surroundings. We expand it wider, landscapes, the whole location, the vistas, all sorts of different things like that. We search through our experiences, bounce all these things, echo all these ideas into our senses and experiences, and see how they help us. Now, of course, it's very important here in terms of this going backwards into our experiences to avoid the catch of thinking that we might know it all already, because where we are may be something completely new that takes us into somewhere different. And that is in itself is as equally important when you think to yourself, well, I don't know, but I just have never been anywhere like this. I've never experienced anything like this. I need to add this to my stock and add this to my appraisal. So we always have to be ready to update our experiences by new appraisals. And indeed, we need to be careful of having fixed habits or dogmas that we come to, that views that we kind of crystallize and say, well, that's how it is, that may become a kind of blindness to new ideas, to new things. And conversely, as we open our minds to all kinds of new experiences, so all kinds of discoveries become possible to overlay these dogmas and add completely different views to our way of thinking. And this leads on to another rather intriguing and very important thought, isn't it? As we're continuously coming across all sorts of new experiences, the way is to become open to these new experiences and to be twice as interested in what we don't know compared to what we already know. And here, just as a piece of fun, here's the Timoni stones in Tipperary, and they're a mystery. They're thought of as being in the second millennium BC, but some people think they were put there recently. And so when we go there, what do we think? We may have seen loads and loads of standing stones and stone circles and things like that, but what do we think about this new place? How do we add this up? And here's a rather amusing picture of a cow. I don't think it's thinking about those kinds of things, but it's a rather lovely picture, isn't it? A cow looking round a stone. So there we are. So as a final thought in this process, we need to use what we know, but not to be bound too much by it as we explore and discover all kinds of new places and new experiences and echo them into ourselves to see how we can add our intelligence to all the things we're feeling and sensing. Well, I hope you've enjoyed again being with us today. Here's a rather lovely picture of Mount Kinabalu at Saba, and extraordinary place that is. So I'll be back soon with a final part 5 of this section soon, and hope to speak to you again very shortly. Okay, bye now.